Hi, welcome to a brief presentation of Chapter 18, which discusses about retailing, wholesaling, and logistics, and it is also a continuation of Chapter 17. In the preceding chapter, we examined marketing intermediaries, primarily from the viewpoint of manufacturers that want to build and manage marketing channels. In this chapter, we view these intermediaries, retailers, wholesalers, and logistical organizations as requiring and forging their own marketing strategies in a rapidly changing world. While innovative retailers such as Sweden's H&M and Spain's Zara and Mango have thrived in recent years, others such as former US Coles and Kmart have struggled. Successful retailers we mentioned here used strategic planning, state-of-the-art technology, advanced information systems, and sophisticated marketing tools. They were also successful in segmenting their markets effectively. They were also able to improve their market targeting and positioning. And they were also successfully connected with their customers through memorable experiences, relevant and timely information. And of course, they were able to deliver the right products and services at the right time to the right consumers, which is the goal or the main key concept of logistics. So in this chapter, we consider what leads to such marketing excellence in retailing, wholesaling, and logistics. So what is retailing? Retailing includes all the activities in selling goods or services directly to final consumers for personal or non-business use. So any organization selling to final consumers, whether it is a manufacturer, wholesaler, or retailer, is doing retailing. And a retailer or a retail store is any business enterprise whose sales volume comes primarily from retailing. It doesn't matter how the goods or services are sold, whether they are sold in person, by mail, by telephone, by vending machine, or online, or where the items are sold. They could be sold in a store, they could be sold on the street, or in the consumer's home. So consumers today can shop for goods and services at store retailers, non-store retailers, and retail organizations. There are many types of store retailers. The most common are specialty stores that carries a deep assortment of brands, styles within a relatively narrow category of product lines. And the most common examples are furniture stores, sporting goods stores, and bookstores. Second type of store retail are department stores that offer a wide range of consumer goods in different areas of the store, and each area specializing in a product category. Example is Europrix department store, which has a range of consumer goods in different areas of the store. Other common store retailing include supermarkets that are designed to meet total needs for food and household products, convenience stores that mainly stock up on goods that a person might require in an emergency, discount stores that are a retail format where products are sold at prices that are in principle lower than an actual or supposed full retail price, like Kiwi. Another retailing category is non-store type. E-commerce, which is the buying and selling of goods and services over an electronic network. And M-commerce, which is the buying and selling of goods and services through wireless handheld devices such as smartphones and tablets, have contributed to the faster growth of non-store retailing. Non-store retailing falls into four major categories. First are direct marketing, which includes telemarketing, that is the marketing of goods or services to potential customers over the telephone, internet, or fax. Or television direct response marketing, that asks consumers to respond directly to the company, usually either by calling or sending an SMS message or by visiting a website and online shopping. Direct selling, that involves a situation where a sales is made through a salesman's one-on-one, door-to-door, or at-home sales party demonstrations, and can also be done with other personal contact arrangements as well as internet. Automatic vending is also one category of non-store retailing, through which a variety of impulse goods such as soft drinks, coffee, candy, newspapers, hot foods are sold. Last, storeless retailing category are called buying services that serve specific clients or client groups, for example, employees of large organizations. Retailers meet widely different consumer preferences for service levels, and they position themselves as offering one of four levels of service. The first service level based classification of retailing is self-service retailing. So here, many consumers carry out their own locating, comparing, selecting process to save money. And such retailing allows complete independence and autonomy to the consumer. The other retailing type is self-selection. Here, the consumer might find the goods on their own, but they might seek some sort of assistance. In case of limited service retailing, the retailers carry more shopping goods and services such as credit. Therefore, consumers need more information and assistance. The last service level in retailing is full service. In such retailing, salespeople are ready to assist in every phase of the buying process, which involves locating, comparing, and selecting an offering. This classification of retailers is based on the magnitude of assistance delivered to consumers. And the more dependent the consumers become on assistance, the retailing goes to the right, which means it becomes full service driven. Excellence and success in retailing business is dependent on the retailer's marketing decisions and their strategies in some key areas like target market, product assortment, prices, store atmosphere, communications, and location. We now examine key decisions a retailer can make in some of the following areas. Retailers slice the market into ever finer segments, and they sometimes introduce new lines of stores to exploit niche markets with more relevant offerings, and this enables them to better hit their targets. However, sometimes mistakes in choosing target markets can be costly. A good example for this is how the target market change by the mass market diamond store Zalest brought a disastrous consequence. Zalest once decided to target only upscale customers, and as part of that effort, they replaced 1/3 of their product. They dropped their inexpensive, low-quality diamond jewelry for high-margin, fashionable 14-karat gold and silver pieces. They also shifted their ad campaign in the process. However, their move was a disaster and Zales lost many of its traditional customers without winning over the new customers it hoped to attract. Retailers must also decide which channels to employ to reach their customers. Of course, how many channels a retailer should have is dependent on many factors, which we discussed in chapter 17, like market coverage, channel cost, and other variables and factors, which you find on the last presentation. But most retailers these days consider multiple channels. For example, if you can think of IKEA, they sell through their traditional retail brick and mortar channel or through a direct response internet site. Another marketing decision retailers must think about is product assortment. The retailer's product assortment must match the target market's shopping expectations in breadth and depth. For example, depending on the interest of the target markets, a restaurant can decide on the product assortment in terms of breadth and depth. They can choose to offer a narrow and shallow assortment and can become a small lunch counter. Or they might choose to have a narrow and deep assortment like delicatessen. Or they might offer a broad and shallow assortment as a cafeteria. Or as a last choice, they can deliver a broad and deep assortment and become a large restaurant. Procurement is also an important area of decision to a retailer. This includes deciding on merchandise sources, where to source your products, and policies regarding those sourcing and store practices or procurement practices. For example, which systems to implement or which skills to acquire in demand forecasting, merchandise selection, stock control, tracking inventory, and computing economic order quantities. As a practical example, a firm might perform a DPP, which stands for Direct Product Profitability, which is the measure of a product's handling costs from the time it reaches the warehouse until a customer buys it in the retail store. So based on that information, then you decide which products to hold, how many products to hold, and how much stock should you have. So that's also an important marketing decision that retailers engage in. Or a supermarket might decide on whether installing application of systems like RFID might facilitate their inventory control or their product replenishment process. Prices are also another key positioning strategy, and a retailer might follow different pricing strategy depending on many factors like the target market, product and service assortment mix, and competition. One of the main predictors of the markup, which is the amount added to the cost of the product to kind of form the final retail price, is volume of sale. Predictor of the markup is volume of sale. For example, if retailers produce lower volume like fine specialty stores, then they will have a higher markup. While if retailers are higher volume group like mass merchandisers and discount stores, then they will have a lower markup. So the reasoning behind this is the concept of economies of scale, which is a saving in costs gained by an increased level of production. Another interesting aspect of marketing decision area for retailers is the store atmosphere. Research shows that adding sensory modifications to the retail can affect consumer interest, average time and dollars spent in the supermarket. Such modifications include varying the tempo of music, customizing fragrance of the scent in store departments, or creating in-store entertainment. Of course, retailers take advantage of these findings. For example, Bloomingdale's uses different essence or scents in its different departments. Baby powder scent in the baby store, lotion scent, suntan lotion scent in the bathing suit area, and cinnamon scent during the holiday season. And Ray, which is seller of outdoor gear and clothing products, allows consumers to test climbing equipment on 25 and 65-foot walls in the store, and also they allow their consumers to try Gore-Tex raincoat under a simulated rain shower in the store. Regarding the type of brand types sold in retailers, there are of two typical types. Retailers themselves can develop a brand called a private label brand, or they hold an unbranded versions of common products called generics, which are plainly packaged and less expensive. Retailers make private label brand products produced by a third party, but they sell it under their own brand name. Despite that, the retailer controls the product, for example, the specification of the product, how it is packaged, and other aspects. Such brands account for as much as 40% of the items sold in grocery stores, or in the case of US markets, 1 of every 5 items sold in supermarkets, drug chains, and mass merchandisers is private label brand. Her är en praktisk arbete dere kan jobbe med. For eksempel tar Biltema. Biltema er en stor magasin type av detailhandel. De selger flere typer varer i flere avdelinger. Det er på den grunn at det er et stort magasin. De også har egne merkevarer, som vi diskuterte som private label brand, som de utvikler med samarbeid med tredje parter. Så diskusjonsspørsmål er slik at Biltema kan bli vellykket i markedskonkurranse. Hvilken markedsbeslutninger eller hvilke markedsbeslutninger må de modifisere, endre eller legge til angående målgruppe, kanaler, produktvalg, innkjøp, tjenester, butikkatmosfære, kommunikasjon eller beliggenhet. Takk for i dag.